Welcome, College Hoops fans, to the 2K Sports Season Preview Show. We're glad to have you along for what's sure to be another outstanding season of college hoops action. I'm Greg Gumbel, and with me at the anchor desk, my partner, Clark Kellogg. We're ready to give you a look ahead to all the ups and downs of the upcoming season, so let's get the ball rolling with the best teams in the nation in the very first Top 25 poll of the season. These are the top 5 teams in college hoops as we begin the new season. The DePaul Blue Demons come in as the number 1 ranked team, followed by Fordham, Auburn, UCLA, and Virginia. So, Clark, what's your initial impression of our top 5 teams?
Sometimes the top players in the nation and the best teams in the nation aren't necessarily together at the top of the poll. But going into this season, we have some of the absolute best players playing on the marquee teams. That's really exciting to me, Greg.
The DePaul Blue Demons are projected as the favorites here in the early going. Everybody in last year's starting lineup is back for another season. What a difference that should make.
Absolutely. You can't put a price on having that kind of experience in your starting lineup. It's such a rarity to get all five back. This is an opportunity they simply have to take advantage of, Greg.
Fordham is in the number 2 spot. They wrapped up their season last year with a trip to the Sweet 16, but it ended there.
A similar result this year probably won't satisfy them. They've got the potential to go a step beyond the Sweet 16. Just getting back there is going to be a disappointment, not an achievement.
Auburn comes in as number 3. They've got a whole crew of high school Mr. Basketballs on this team.
A team is usually happy to land one Mr. Basketball, but with the number they have, this could be a golden era of basketball success at this university. There's nothing but good times ahead.
UCLA starts the year as the 4th-ranked team. From a sheer talent standpoint, this team is right at the top of the charts.
Their roster is jam-packed with former high school All-Americans. They're like a traveling all-star team. It tells you a lot about the appeal of this university to the top high schoolers in the nation.
Virginia is the number 5 team. One bit of good news for them, they have last season's leading rebounder coming back for another year.
With that low-post presence already established, they'll have a little bit of swagger heading into the season. I look for them to be sharp right from the start.
Here's the next group of teams in our preseason top 25. What's your impression of that set of teams?
With such a long season ahead of us, it's almost impossible to put a finger on just who the contenders and pretenders are from this set of teams. But that doesn't mean we won't try.
The Wake Forest Demon Deacons, the number 15 team, have stirred up a lot of talk in the offseason. They're going to have to find someone to fill the void left by their departed leading scorer, Clark.
The important thing for them is not to thrust someone into that role just for the sake of it. It will be a much smoother transition if the players are allowed to ease into their new spot.
The USC Trojans, the number 10 team, have also generated a lot of interest. They had a wonderful year last season, finishing with 23 wins.
That 20-win plateau is one of those benchmarks in college hoops that immediately classifies you as an elite team.
What do you think of this collection?
This looks to me like the deepest preseason top 25 poll we've seen.
The Texas Tech Red Raiders, the Oklahoma. There was no shortage of movement in the coaching ranks during the offseason. Here are all the new coaches in college basketball this season. There are quite a few interesting names on the list. The Ohio State coach is one of the hires that drew a lot of media attention. The Ohio State Buckeyes have a lot of fans that are delighted to have a coach of his ability, Clark.
He's never been to the Final Four, but he's hoping that this will be the coaching stop that gets him there. And this university and its fans are hoping the exact same thing.
The Colorado coach also made. We've come to the part of the show when we look at the top players in the nation and unveil the list of our preseason the UCLA next. Let's move on to a play. And finally, let's move on to the second team All-Americans. Not such a bad list. Welcome to the 2K Sports Studios. I'm Greg Gumbel, along with my partner Clark Kellogg. Coming up on College Hoops Tonight, brought to you by State Farm, the #1 auto insurer. We'll reveal the best of the little guys in our mid-major top 10 list, as well as tell you where the top recruit in the nation is headed. But first, let's take a look at the best games of the past week in college basketball. We had the kind of upset this week that makes college hoops so unpredictable and so exciting. Connecticut got the better of Virginia.
This came right out of the blue, Greg. What a wild and crazy game. Virginia was sitting pretty as a top 5 team, but you've got to have some doubts about them after a loss like this. Van was absolutely unstoppable. His 32. And in addition to his scoring, he is a tenacious defender. He makes everyone around him a better defender. With this combination of offense and defense, it's easy to see why they won this game.
And two teams, each enjoying a spot in the top 25, got together. Wake Forest got by Oklahoma State.
It was a real treat to see these teams both come to play in what turned out to be a fantastic game. They showed us why they deserved their spots in the top 25. This was an entertaining and fun game to watch. Wake Forest did a tremendous job in the rebounding department. It was truly a dominant performance on the glass. They showed great hustle and determination every time the shot went up on either end. That's always an area that can really be an indicator of a team's performance, and the rebounding numbers told the tale in this one.
Now let's unveil our list of the top 10 mid-major teams. Hi, everyone. I'm Greg Gumbel, joined at the anchor desk by my partner, Clark Kellogg. Next up on College Hoops Tonight, brought to you by State Farm, the #1 auto insurer. We'll recap the biggest games of the week, as well as tell you where the top recruit in the nation is headed. But we begin with a special player who was an easy choice as our player of the week in college basketball.
Adengano is a favorite to win this award every week, Greg, and he gets it this week. If there's anyone who doesn't consider him one of the best players in the country, just take a look at his last few performances.
It was a magical week for him, Clark, no doubt about it. The fans really got behind him as the points kept piling up, and you could see him feed off their energy. He's a cult hero to those people. And if he has a few more weeks like this one, he'll be one of the all-time legends at that university. There was no shortage of excitement on the court in the past few days, so let's take a look at our games of the week. We had a pair of top 25 teams in an old-fashioned grudge match. Oklahoma State got by Oregon.
It was a real treat to see these teams both come to play in what turned out to be a fantastic game. They showed us why they deserved their spots in the top 25. This was an entertaining and fun game to watch. Oklahoma State really muscled up down low and was able to convert a lot of easy close to the basket. Whether it was the big men or the guards, they made the most of their opportunities. They established their inside presence from the start and were able to rely on getting their points down low throughout the game.
And next up, let's look back on another great contest from the past week. Wisconsin toppled UCLA.
Well, Greg, this game wasn't decided until that final buzzer sounded. A couple of different bounces one way or the other, and this could have been a totally different outcome. Farris was the hero of this one with a terrific performance. His 12 points led the team. Watching him basically put his teammates on his back and single-handedly carry them to the victory in a big game situation like this was stupendous.
There's news off the court as well as on at this time of the year, as the top high school players in the country are signing their letters of intent. The signing of one player made an especially big splash. The Oregon State Beavers are already celebrating, and all this is for a player that is yet to set foot on the university's grounds.
Elsie made up his mind after months of having coaches beating down his door, and everyone involved in that program is whistling on their way to work today. There have been so many great guards that have played for this school that it's come to be known as a guard factory. This program has shown again and again that it is capable of taking a player with raw skills and refining him into a polished, all-around backcourt player. For a player with his natural ability, that should be a perfect fit.
That's our show, everyone. For all of us here at the 2K Sports Studios, thank